So verse 38, Jesus just said that what he's saying is he heard from his father, and what you're saying is what you heard from your father. So who is the father? Is he going to leave this like hanging there or not telling them whom he's speaking about? No, he's not. Verse 39, they answered him, Abram is our father. Jesus said to him, if you are Abram's children, you would be doing the works Abram did. So in that replica that Jesus said, I am speaking that's my father, what you heard from your father. And he's like, yeah, we know it's our father, Abram, right? Okay, just remember as well, earlier in the chapter, the woman was taken in adultery, and they kind of are going to play a lot about the fact that Jesus is just a Samaritan, right? Because he's born from a virgin, and these things don't happen. So ultimately, that's just an excuse to actually say he was born from a Samaritan, his father's Samaritan. Well, it's one of the theories that ran around there, understandably. Okay, so yeah, Abraham's our father. And then Jesus is saying, what? If you really were the children of Abraham, then you will be doing the works of Abraham, right? You can't claim to be the son of someone in this sense and then doing the opposite of what that person did. Then how can you claim to be the son of that person? Right? You can't claim that, ultimately. Verse 40, but now you seek to kill me, a man who has told you the truth that he heard from God. This is not what Abram did. Right? So what you're searching to kill me. And I only told you the truth. Abram never did that. Never ever did Abram do that. Right? Abram was waiting for the time of the coming of the Messiah with bated breath. And here the Messiah is coming, and so what would Abram have done? He would have come there with open arms and invite them for a big meal like he did earlier. Okay, for most likely the pre-incarnate Christ. Abram wouldn't want to try and seek to kill the one who's telling the truth. So they are clearly not the children of Abram. They're not doing the deeds of Abram. Verse 41, you are doing the works your father did. They said to him, we were not born of sexual immorality. We have one father, even God. Right? So, again, he's saying, you're just doing the works your father did. He's still not saying who's the father. They're saying you're just doing his works. And so now they're going to up the ante here a bit, right? Like, we are not born of sexual immorality like you, right? You don't know who's your father. You claim to be born of a virgin. But actually you were born of not, I mean, yeah, there were stories about the Romans as well, Roman soldiers or something, but they are going to use the ones even worse, the Samaritan, right, Samaritan. But you don't know who's your father. Remember earlier in the chapter, the woman we brought to adultery, that's like your mom, right? You don't even know who's your father, but we know who's our father. Earlier they said Abram, and Jesus proved them that's not true. Now they're going to, like I said, up the ante. God, right? We have one father, and that is even God. Right? So, what the heck are you? We have the trump card here. Checkmate. We have God as a father. Yes, if God would seek to kill those who were telling the truth. God even give grace to those telling the lies. Yeah, right, God is your father. Checkmate on you for lying blatantly. Verse 42. Jesus said to them, if God were your father, you would love me, for I came from God and I'm here. I came not of my own accord, but he sent me. So you claim that God is your father. Well, if he was your father, you would love me. Right, you would love me. Why? Because I come from God. I didn't come here on my own accord, he sent me. How can you claim to love God if the one whom he sent, you reject, you want to kill? I mean, really, Abram would not kill the one who's speaking the truth. And here, you claim to God as a father, and you're trying to kill me, although he sent me. That's even more absurd. That's even more absurd. You're upping the ante, but you're upping your absurdity. That's all you're doing. You're not giving more proof. You're just showing more how stupid you are, how absurd what you're saying is. So who is your father, and ultimately? Can you start thinking about it? Verse 43. I mean, yes. Ultimately, Jesus didn't come on his own. He was sent by the Father. And what he's saying, he said it a number of times what the Father told him to do. Right? It's not because he wanted to do this. It's because the Father told him to do it. That's all. How can you not do it? Jesus told us to go into the world and preach the gospel. How can you claim to be a Christian if you're not doing it? I'm not saying sell everything and be a missionary, because there's lots of ways how you can do it. But man, for my culture even, sitting around the campfire, I can't remember ever discussing God. Maybe once or twice. But man, did we discuss what's happening on the farm? Did we discuss the rugby results or the cricket even? Oh, less the cricket more than rugby. Right? God was so seldom. Here and there a little upfling, something like that. But politics and those things we discussed the whole time. Right? Are we really Christian, or is it just a cultural thing? I think for Afrikaners, they're the Boers in South Africa. You need to think about this, right? I mean, all people need to think of this. Are you really? Jesus said to do. The Father sent. He's not seeking his own. He's seeking the Father sent him. Jesus said that told us to go. Like R.C. Sproul as well told the story about when he started studying, and the professor asked him, why do we need to disciple people? And he said he was like sitting there at the end, and I think I told the story, but anyhow he told you can go and listen to him telling us as well, of his sermons. So go through the whole group, and he was the last one, and then he got to him and said, I think kind of because Jesus told us to do it. He said, no, what can be more important than that, right? The professors said. So the Father sending the Son sending us. So why are we not standing up for the truth? Why don't we care about the truth ultimately? Because are we serving God really? Are we truly born again? I'm speaking to Christians here now, right? For me, it's not attacking like there's a Muslim just in front of this here. There's Muslims all around. What's the point of attacking Muslims, right? Starting a war with them if the problem is actually not they, but we, right? I know we hate the Muslims, right? I mean Christians, the kinds of things that conservative Christians write about Muslims is lots of people. Sometimes like, maybe it's time you clean house first. That's why I told students, my students and young ones, it's not like because I hate the church, I love the church, therefore I'm telling the truth, because we need to clean house. Like we need to be like Jesus here. He was not seeking his own. The Father told him, so he's doing it. Right? I came not of my own accord, but he sent me. Like we're not coming of our own accord, but Jesus sent us. Verse 43. Why do you not understand what I say? It is because you cannot bear to hear my word. So why don't you understand what is so simple? Right? Why can you understand what's so simple? It's like if I say, the Nile River is longer than the Neva River. And you say, no way, it's not longer than the Neva River. No, that's not true at all. Now, the Neva River is one of the shortest rivers in Europe, 70 odd kilometers long. The Nile is still, again, kind of the longest river in the world. But you will get people who say, no, because they know better. The earth is flat, because where I'm standing is flat. Up there it's not flat. But anyhow, doesn't matter how much you can prove and show, stand in a tall building, look out on the mountain, look and you see the horizon is kind of round, Yeah. No mountain that's going. It's like, why can't you understand what is so simple, what is so clear, what is so simple, right? This is water, H2O, right? But you're going to say, no, it's not water, it's just make-believe or something like that. Why not? Because you cannot bear my word. Because you don't want to know the truth. You know the truth, but you don't want to know the truth because your deeds are evil. Right? That is why. It's not because you're stupid, it's because you don't want to understand. That's simple.